If you've been given this book as a gift and straight up think it's a massive load of trash, you can always pull the tried and true re-gift move. Now, re-gifting an audio book, not something that I've ever heard of, but I mean, go for it. If you do think it's trash, good luck. But humour me here, I'm talking about like actual book. Anyway, you can re-gift the book. That is, of course, if you don't bend the pages too much and someone hasn't already written a lovely note in the front page written for you. I warn you about these things because I've done it once, and every time I think about it, it makes me want to fucking die inside. The story goes, I wanted to give my mate something nice, but I didn't have any money. Plus, I hadn't read any of the books I'd been given, and to be perfectly honest, I fucking wasn't going to. I also felt, as a broke teenager, I wasn't really chipping in enough to the friend group, so I gave each of them a book out of seemingly nowhere, but because I was a fucking 16-year-old dumbass, I didn't think to leaf through the first few pages and check if these re-gifts had been signed to me. I simply handed over a book or two with heartfelt notes in them addressed to, that's right, yours truly. Fucking hell. See, we're already getting off track here, something I'm very good at, I'll have you know. Before we go any further, I think we should address some of the unasked questions that no doubt some of you are likely to have about parts of the content in this recipe book. For a start, number one, why didn't you get a full colour book printed with photos of food in it, Nat, you bloody dickhead? Fantastic made-up question, thank you for asking. The reason is many reasons, one of which is every normal cookbook more or less does that, and I'm a misunderstood tryhard over here who insists on doing everything differently. 2, are there any vegan dishes in this book, you bloody maniac? Fuck yes there are, and even some little hacks to shift a recipe to the veggie side of town. This is a book for all champions of all dietary persuasions. Unless you're on that fucking strange potato diet, then maybe not. Although you could check out my Get Fucked roast potatoes recipe if you do happen to be limited to just the potato ingredient alone. Good luck. 3, I'm concerned that there will be heaps of swearing in this book as well, because there's already been a ton. Yes, there's going to be a lot of fucking swearing in it. Buckle up. 4, are you even a real chef, or am I just taking advice from some long-haired yahoo covered in stupid drawings? I'm glad you asked, Tim. No, I'm not a chef, but I do give an enormous shit about the food I create. I have put my bloody money where my mouth is more than a few times before. That's not to say I haven't occasionally bitten off more than I can chew. That's a cooking joke there. And made a dish that looks and tastes nothing like what I set out to make. With that said, there'll be none of that nonsense in this book. There's everything here. There's nothing but rock solid, total wins that will leave you feeling like you've absolutely slayed the home cooking game. Number 5, I don't have any more questions. Great, because I don't either. If you're someone who's slightly overwhelmed by the tidal wave of precious info in a lot of recipes, then this book is for you. I suppose my lack of professional training has sometimes led me kind of the long way around to nailing a few of these dishes, and as a result, I found a lot of stupid and unnecessary instructions in them that don't make any fucking difference to the final dish. I've put in a lot of hours to this freestyle, so you don't have to, champion. Also, I suppose that not a lot of cookbooks have drawings of the person who's written them dressed as the Terminator or a fish. So if you're chasing something a little different, chase no further, legend. To add more unusual shit to the book, I've created something called a hectometer, which is kind of a heads-up dial to give you a bit of a shout-out on how hectic each dish is to make. So if you've had a big day and you don't feel like being thrown in the deep end of the pool without a floaty, then this should help. But rest assured, there's no recipes in here that are really too stressful, as I tend to try and avoid stress in general and chip in for more good times than meltdowns. So, champion, I hope you get a good laugh out of these recipes, as well as feel like you've added a few new smash hits to your cooking repertoire. Maybe you'll play around with them a bit and make your own Sarah lasagna, or perhaps the soon-to-be famous Michael Andwich. Who bloody knows, but I hope so. That's the cool thing about cooking recipes that other people have written and not actually being those people, is you can crank a ton more of your favourite shit in, or add a herb or a spice that you reckon would be a fucking...